Hi, it's Pastor Penny. Do you ever notice how God puts an idea in front of you or a thought and puts it in the front of your mind, and then it keeps coming up? The same idea, the same thought keeps coming up in other ways. Um, that happens to me often. And it did, um, that happened to me for this talk. So, on the roller coaster of life, we need to deal with our ups and downs. We need to find ways to deal with them. And hopefully, our faith helps us do that. And sometimes it's easier than other times. So, yesterday, I learned about the recent increase in COVID cases in our area. And Session and I have been talking about how and when we might reopen. And now it's pretty clear that we can't consider that right now. And I'm so disappointed. And I know others of you are too. No, Lord, I want things to be in my time, not yours. And then the devastating loss of Ed Strand last week was and is and will be so difficult. No, no, Lord, why aren't you taking him when we say, not you? And now suddenly it's fall. Today's October 1st, and the leaves have begun changing, and the days are getting shorter. Today when I get home, I know I'll need to break down and turn on the heat for the first time this season. Maybe I'm not ready for that. No, Lord, I want it to be in my time. But then, Lord, you also give us the beauty of the leaves changing color, of being cozy in the sweater weather, of firing up our fireplaces, um, which is always just so cozy and so pleasant. So, having said all that, um, it made me think of Ecclesiastes 3 1 through 8. I know you're all familiar with it, but there's a time for everything. And um, I won't read the whole thing, but just some. So, and it goes like this: there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, time to tear down and a time to build, time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, time to be silent and a time to speak, time to love and a time to hate, time for war and a time for peace. So Ecclesiastes is telling us, hey, there are different times for different things, and guess what? It's all up to the Lord's timing, not ours. And so we just need to remember that and look for the positive and just trust. It's where our faith comes in. And then, so that was last night. I was thinking about all that. And then this morning, I often read today each day's meditation in this book, Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. And so this morning I found I am taking care of you. I am not only committed to caring for you, but I am also absolutely capable of doing so. So rest in me, weary one, for this is a form of worship. Never thought of that, huh? If you just accept God's love and God's care, it's a form of worship. My children drive themselves like racehorses. They whip themselves into action, ignoring how exhausted they are. I've been there, you know, much different time, a long time ago. They forget that I am sovereign and that my ways are higher than theirs. And underneath their driven service, they may secretly resent me as a harsh taskmaster. Their worship of me is lukewarm because I am no longer their first love. So my invitation never changes. Come to me, all you who are weary, and I will give you rest. Worship me by resting peacefully in my presence. So let's pray. Help us accept your seasons, Lord. Help us trust you always, that your timing is perfect. This is our prayer. Blessings.